over 10 years, and usually what I'm known for. And thank you for all the amazing emails and comments that I've been getting. And it really, none of this has to do with myself, and that's what this video is really about. It's about a miracle in action. And by the end of this video, you're going to see that not only have we had like the wool pulled over our eyes, but that there is something coming, and it literally is going to change everything. This whole Nibiru thing, is very, very new to me. This whole idea of a system outside of us, it's very, very new to me. If you saw my first video, the one where I was walking from my car that was parked to the hospital, stressing out because I had just had a terrible dream that meteors were coming down, and there was a planet that was like right there, and in the dream I was saying, "Oh, forgive me, Lord, I'm so sorry I didn't share that video." And every time I tried to share, every time I tried to talk about what I knew I was inspired to talk about, I just couldn't find the time, and I woke up and I was horrified when I was in Florida. And then I said, okay, Lord, see, because I've lived my life believing that, our dreams are there for a reason. Our inspiration is there for a reason. I gave my life a long time ago, when I was about 12. I basically said, if there was such a thing as free will, I didn't want to do it. But the only thing that would matter, if there was a God, the only thing that matters is what God wills. And there has to be something that is in control of all of this. Everything that works together perfectly. We're all connected. We're all one. What I do is affecting everything else that there is. So I knew that even back then that I needed to give myself completely to it. So, I'm one of those guys that if I'm inspired to share something, and as long as it is going to encourage love and truth and the search for more, then I'll share it. But I'm one of those guys that, usually comes kicking and screaming. I wasn't really excited months ago when I was being encouraged to talk about some kind of other system that NASA calls Planet X or Planet 7X or Planet 9 or Nibiru. I wasn't even on my radar. You got to understand. And so what happened was, as I told the story in the other video, I had just one coincidence after another coincidence, and then I realized that if I didn't, finally share this video on this topic that was making me very uncomfortable, I'd be missing the boat and perhaps not fulfilling my purpose in this world. So I did the video. And I gotta tell you, the irony is, it's now gone viral. And so something that I didn't want to talk about, something that I wasn't even inspired to share about, all of a sudden now has become, one of my most popular video. That makes absolutely no sense to me, unless of course it is meant for a whole new audience to meet me and me to meet a whole new audience, or it's true.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, end of test. Okay, we checked all 4 systems, and you go on modulation, all 4, and keying was a go.
Last weekend I mailed SLU astronomer Paul Cox, asking about his remarks about a second sun in our solar system during his broadcast of Mercury's transit, and he got back to me in 24 hours. And turns out that Paul Cox not only said he was told to no longer talk about the subject, but also that world governments and certain groups are deliberately keeping mankind blind about underground bases and a program of government continuity related to some upcoming events.
Well, that's our second sun. I don't know if you knew that we had a second sun, but there it is. It's normally hidden from view. NASA and other organizations, they usually hide that stuff away from us. They don't tell us the truth, but there it is. It's true.
Just recently, I stumbled across this National Geographic piece. I don't know if you've ever heard of our planet's evil twin sun, called Nemesis. Well, you know, this is a theory that we're talking top people in the field are talking about. So much so, National Geographic did a little video about it. How every 26 million years, this, you know, evil sun comes towards us because we're in some kind of a, you know, kind of an orbit together. And when it does, when it gets closer, it bangs up all the comets and it starts sending all the meteorites towards us. And I gotta tell you, we've been getting a lot of meteorites, haven't we, lately? Yeah, and that was just like a night ago, not to mention the one from a week ago. So we're getting like a lot of meteorites. We're having more earthquakes than ever before. I mean, we're seeing a lot of physical changes taking place on our planet that could be described by this incoming, you know what? Take a look, let them explain it.
Of the billions of stars twinkling overhead, one may be a scourge to life on Earth, an evil twin to the sun named Nemesis. Some scientists suspect that Nemesis is a dark, still undiscovered star orbiting our sun. And every 26 million years, it triggers a disaster.
We know that the solar system is surrounded by this enormous cloud of comets, and so these successive passages of the sun's companion would send comets into the inner solar system. Some of them would hit Earth.
The Nemesis theory postulates that there's a star orbiting the sun at a 26 million year period. That's about it. Almost no other assumptions need to be made.
Mueller believes that as Nemesis nears the sun, its gravitational disturbance sends comets flying through the solar system. The resulting impacts have been the source of many major extinction events in Earth's history. Mueller explains how the theory came about.
Two paleontologists, when looking at patterns of extinctions, came across something that seemed utterly insane. They said that similar extinctions were taking place every 26 million years on a regular schedule.
The discovery of a 26 million year pattern of extinctions seemed impossible to explain by any process native to the Earth itself.
So I saw that. I saw that every 26 million years there was an extinction event, and they're saying that that's the only possible explanation. So what I'm saying is, if it's the only possible explanation, maybe that's why I was inspired to share about it. Maybe that's why, even last night, I had this crazy dream. I had this crazy dream last night where I'm told of some kind of major conjunction that is taking place, and hashtag Superman, I was told in a dream. This all I know sounds like madness to you, but there's a reason for it. And I woke up at 1 in the morning, and it turns out that dream that I was telling Danielle about, I said, honey, I had this weird dream, and I Google it, and then there it is. There's this like heavenly event taking place today. So there have been things that I've, felt like I should share and talk about, but because I worry too much about what people think, I haven't. I've held off from it for a long time. And I've had like some weird dreams about it and everything else, and I've had some strange coincidences about it. And well, now, after having a dream at the hospital, I had a dream last night that I was, there was something wrong with Ethan, and I was at the hospital, and then something was happening, and and I was like, in the dream I felt Well, I felt like I never got a chance to share this, and that, and as many times as I tried to share this video, everything kept getting in the way of it, And so when I woke up in the morning, I thought, I really should just kind of share with people and stop worrying. Because, look, if you're going to judge me, you're going to judge me. The bottom line is that it might be true. I'm not known for talking about conspiracy theories. I'm not known for that. What I'm known for is taking, the religious lie that we've been sold since birth. This idea that we're something that we're not. And exposing that.
Now let's take the allegory, because I'm all about allegory. God opens his mouth in parable, in dark sayings. Jesus said, unto you it is given to know the mysteries of the kingdom of God. Unto those that are without the understanding, that's what it means, all things are done in parable.
We are not just these mortal beings that are walking around, that we are actually infinite beings, that we are literally the children of the creator of all, trapped in this hellish place, believing we're something that we're not, living in a world that is wrought with war.
We are seeing a number of items crossing this morning on this. Russian President Putin saying that a U.S. missile shield in Europe, which is something he has long been against, would be a clear violation of the arms treaty.
Russian President Vladimir Putin has warned that Moscow will consider measures to counter threats posed by U.S. missile systems in Europe.
It is an honor to be here at my last, and perhaps the last, White House Correspondents' Day. You all look great. The end of the Republic has never looked better.
A world where nobody's happy, nobody's comfortable, and everybody's living in fear. I live my life as a man that wants to do the will of God. You say what you want. I'm a successful person. I have Emmy Awards. I was the lead writer of World Wrestling. The head writer and sole producer of, the largest faith-based television network in the world. Done things in my life. And every step of the way, I said what I would do next. And that's why I said next was my novel. But my novel, that's not the point. The Calling, which is coming out June 11th, the novel, which is like this great little allegory, basically, I believe it's kind of like it's like bait. In that when people read this story, they're gonna love it. And then it becomes a big movie, and then everybody watches that movie, and they're eating it up. And then what happens next? Well, they want to find out who this Jacob Israel character is, and then they go to my website, right? How would that be possible? How could I possibly have something like that happen? Faith. Now all of a sudden, hundreds of thousands of people, they know my name. Now all of a sudden, my videos are going viral. Had nothing to do with me. It had to do with faith. There's something going on in the world right now. And if you don't put your heart and your soul into finding out what that is, you're missing out. We can have peace in this world. We can have life in this world. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I don't know if there's a planet called Nibiru or Planet X, or if there is a dwarf evil sun called Nemesis heading our way. I don't know, but what I do know is who I've been told I was and who I really am. two different people. It's like I'm born again, you know? Like that first me, the idea of who I thought I was. That place was put to death, the place of the skull. And now I'm resurrected again. Christ resurrected within me. It's no longer I that live, but Christ. That's who we really are. That's who you really are. And all it takes is one light to light another, to light another, to light another. And the next thing you know, the world is waking up from this darkness. The world is waking up from this darkness. I got to plug my friend Bob's book. He based a character on me called Noah Israel. His book, go figure, has to do with Nibiru, the Anunnaki,